I think it was a 2-hour discussion, much of it, about how change is made in America and what kind of change is necessary. And hovering over it, I think, is another question that they are dealing with, sometimes skirting around, which is, why is Donald Trump president? Is Donald Trump president because of some lark, because he's a really weird guy who managed to squeeze his way in there? Or is he president because of 30, 40-year mega trends in this country that left a majority of people feeling mocked by the future and led to the collapse of institutions that made him possible? And so in this race, you have a bunch of people who I think that, who I think he's not the whole disease here. He's the symptom. He's the boil on the diseased body politic. And then you have some other people who I think really, like Biden, not in last night's debate, who emphasize Trump is our problem. So if you break it down that way, among the Elizabeth Warren is, with Bernie Sanders, the leader of the camp that says this is a diseased body politic, right? Trump is what you would expect to erupt if you neglect people for this long. And so when you have the exchange that you did, part of it is about incrementalism versus more fundamental change, right? Do you do free college for everybody, or Pell Grants, doubling this, tripling that, the old kind of Democratic Clintonian stuff. But I think another part of it that people are not talking about enough is mapped onto incrementalism versus fundamental change is impossible for people to understand versus easy for people to understand. The reality is they are competing. One of them is going to compete against the president who, in my view, is not a good human being and can probably barely read, but is good at simplicity, simple ideas that resonate, that tickle people's reptile brain. And I think you have a bunch of people here who want to do the right thing for this country, but who I think need to think harder, most of them, about matching the president in that level of elegance and simplicity. So when you talk about health care, never having to think about health care again because it's just off the table like it is in Britain is a really simple idea people can understand, right? It's as simple as the wall, actually. It's as compelling an idea as the wall, just good versus bad. Pell Grants, this grant, block grants, Medicaid. Once you get into that, I think these people don't know who they're talking to sometimes. I think they don't understand that most people are not their staff. Most people do not know what these things are. So I think Warren was particularly commanding because despite having all those plans and all those things, didn't actually use those words a lot, used moral language.